What's up, everybody? Back once again, and this time I was like, it's time for Backlash. Now, I know that this is really kind of a middling, card. It's sort of the, oh, we just got hyped off WrestleMania, and so it's kind of blow off. All like the draft just happened too, so it's almost like, does this really even matter? Let's just get real, especially because the draft just happened, and then it's also like, well, I was like, well, not that this doesn't matter, but let's just go ahead and get to like real feud instead of the next pay per view because this one is kind of like, man. And granted, I think there's some pretty good matches or some that have potential to be good matches, but I don't think it really does anything necessarily for the future. Now, I was like, for one, that doesn't really say anything for the future, but could be an alright match, is Austin Theory, Bronsonreed, and Lashley. Now, I was somebody that was thinking like, I would love it if they put the title on Bronson Reed. Lashley doesn't need it. He'd be a good champ, of course. He's already had it. Already done did that as a champion. But he doesn't need it. He need to be go ahead and focusing on bigger thing. And just so happens he's on SmackDown, where the bigger thing is the tribal chief is over here with both titles. So that's where he should go. Also, Austin Theory, he's had that title pretty much for over like on and off for about a year now. So, or at least close to it, to where it's kind of just like, man, I don't mind Austin Theory myself, but I just feel like he been having that title off and on to try to make it be somebody, and he's not that dude to. I was like, where it's like he's had it, and it's like when he shouldn't have had it. Then he had it. I didn't think it was bad on him. I didn't think it was bad to start him out with it. Then they just try to pump him up too much. Then he lost it. Then he had it. So it was too much back and forth. And I think that he just need to be in some good storyline that don't involve the title. That way he could sort of repackage himself. And I think Bronson Reed, you can always play the big man behemoth. I'm going to destroy you guy. Very safe, very safe, simple. But I feel like him that doesn't have like anywhere to really go other than that. Then you put that on him, and now with worse something, you can have him do a challenge or be almost like Gunther is on the other side. Except for he's on Raw now, where Gunther's at, and yeah, so that's sort of dead. So I imagine that somehow it stays on Austin Theory by like pinning Braun Reed or something like that, and taking over SmackDown and doing some crap over that. So, but it could be good with at least the two of the big beefy dudes and him paying a stiffling heel. Anyway, now one that has really, why is it here? I guess free agent Omos versus Seth Rollins. I don't know what to expect here, which might make that more intriguing, but then it's also like it's not even like a fun one that you would think of when you thought of somebody like Brock Lesnar with Omos or something like that. But I was like, if it's Seth Rollins in it, he'll go try to make it good. He'll make it fun. He'll get up there and let Omos be a big giant monster. And yeah, I actually don't know what to expect out of this one. I really don't have nothing here. I was like, I don't dislike Omos like a lot of people. I think that he should have these sort of like matches and challenges and stuff. But yeah, it's just a weird connection here. Then you got Rhearipley versus Zelinavega, I'll say. Yeah. I mean, granted, I was like, we'll see what Zelina got something, just because I think that she's an okay wrestler. Not somebody that I feel like you could put, depending on who she's against. I feel like you could give her the title. Like if this was like her versus Liv Morgan, sure, she could take the title, or something like that. Like, but it's sort of weird because I was like, she's never really been a babyface too much. So her being like, I guess, a babyface in this situation, even though Rhea Ripley also going to be a pseudo babyface because everybody loves her. But I didn't like how it was set up of her just getting it just because she's she's like, I'm the only woman, female, Puerto Rican here on the show. I I mean, I felt like if they would have did a they would have set it up to where she just like outcome, and we would have been like, oh well, duh, she's also Puerto Rican. That might have been why she won. But it's also been cool to see her go through it a bit to get the chance, just because I feel like it's very. I don't I don't really like that type of thing of being like, it's like, hey, I was like, granted, it's like her home country, so I get that, and we do a whole, and WWE will do that type of selling, so I do get it. I just didn't like the way that it was. It seemed very like give it to me, pandering type thing, and it's not my tea. It is not my bag. Like, I'm like, if she would have had like some setup of some matches and all that other stuff of, where it was like, it's like she really like willed herself, and then it's because it's in her home, like it's not given to her, but it's because then I would have been totally down with it. Either way, she's gonna get wiped out. I don't even think this. It sort of sucks because I was like, I feel like she's gonna get wiped out, and like I think she'll get some offense. I just don't think it's gonna be anything worth anything. I'd give it like 8 minutes type of match. That might be too much of a extra that I'm giving them. But hey, I was like, hey, at least she's on the card and she's challenging for the title, but she doesn't really get that many opportunities too. And I'm just like, hey, you got one shot, you get a chance to blow. Anyway, Bad Bunny, Damienpriest. Sort of cool. If I was like, it's sort of cool that they sort of like, considering that Damienpriest sort of got his big WrestleMania moment because of Bad Bunny. So it would have been, so it'd been cool they would have been able to do that at WrestleMania. But here I think it's still cool that it's almost like a full circle now, because they're like, it's almost like you've changed, and it's like we're not cool, and it's like that whole thing. Of course Bad Bunny's gonna win. I don't see really why they wouldn't have him win, big mega pop star or whatever, which is funny because I really want to know him for wrestling. Um, but Bad Bunny is actually like especially for a celebrity, a pretty good wrestler. So they'll give it to him. It'll be a fun match. I don't expect nothing crazy out of this. I just expect it just to like just a bunch of weapons, a bunch of flying spots. Judgment Day might show up, but then I was like, they probably gonna have a little bit of LWO show up for Bad Bunny, and pretty much get the victory. This should be a fun match. This should be a fun match. This is actually one of the 3 minute matches. I was like, yeah, that should be fun. Then there's Bianca and Io. Okay. They're both on SmackDown, so that took away, I feel like, actually the intrigue that Io could win if Damage Control would have stayed on Raw. Just because I don't imagine that they'll have Bianca go to SmackDown just for her not to have her title. But I would prefer if Io did win. Not that I don't like Bianca, because I do like Bianca, but I just think that, and it's like maybe it's not the right timing also too. Don't do that Backlash. You're gonna do that at WrestleMania or something for her to drop the title. But either way, I think it'll be a good match just because Bianca and Io, and I was like, them being like such NXT prodigy people, that I'm like, they'll give out a good match. Io's always, they're both good wrestlers. Where I'm like, they'll give a good match, and and it could be something fun. It's just that you sort of know how this is going to go, and that will sort of take us away. Also, I can imagine Io getting the title this early with Bayley. If Damage Control was winning enough and Bayley won the title a couple of times and lost it, then I can imagine maybe like in my head like some Triple H Randy Orton Evolution thing where it's like, oh, the youngster won it over the vet dudes, and I'm like, yeah, but no, not in this case. But so it is what it is. Then we got the 6-man tag of Mattriddle with KO and Sammy versus the Usos, Solosikoa, Bloodline. This is also one of this. It's like not that I've gotten like bored of it. I just don't. It's just more like, what are you gonna really do here? And I'm like, it also it sucks too, because I'm like 4 of them ever do 3 of them ever do too many super kicks for me in a super kick match. I was like, I can't deal with that many super kicks. I think it'll be a good match. I was like, I don't think it'll be as fun, because I was like, I liked the match at WrestleMania, but I didn't fully enjoy it. Just because I felt like it felt like it was rushed, and it felt like it was just like it like play their greatest hit spot instead of them doing hit spots. Like you just sort of knew like, okay, this is how it's gonna happen. Super kick, splash, splash, super kick, stunner, super kick, haluva kick. That was the haluva kick at the very end was the only great. It was a really great part of the whole thing. Everything else, I felt like what I would probably feel like I see at a SmackDown show, and I felt like you didn't. It felt like there was like in that it was rushed of. I think Charlotte and Rhea had a good match, and so I felt like theirs was rushed in a way that I felt like if you would have gave them freedom, they could have done more Bullock considering the chemistry everyone has. But it just felt like they just like hit, let's go. So I feel like here pretty much the same. Riddle's going over to Raw, and so is Kevinowens and Sammy. So it's basically this is the blow off, and then that's it, and it's over, and then. I guess that's it, and then everybody's gonna figure out what they do. So it's almost like also no implication of what it is, but it's also like cool. Look, get these away because we're sort of like done with that. It's tiring. You did already climax over on that last show. Then it's Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, and now I know there's this whole thing of everybody like him having his road to redemption and him trying to get back to the championship and that being the whole thing. And I think we'll get there. I do think. I almost felt like Brock Lesnar should have been held off a little bit more, but the problem is there's really nothing else you could really do with Cody after the way he lost at WrestleMania that you sort of had to just throw him to Brock Lesnar and let that be a thing. Because I would have loved it if he would have been able to build up, and then it's like, damn, Brock Lesnar comes out of nowhere. And the fact that Brock Lesnar turned like everybody loved him so much at WrestleMania from him being like omos, and then him trying to tag team with Cody that they immediately turned him heel, that I felt like it would have been great to let that simmer a bit. But I was like, just because, and I was like, and don't get me wrong, I was like, I feel like that's going to be a really great match. I feel like Brock's going to do a good job of selling for Cody. I don't think they're going to have Brock Lesnar squash Cody. I don't think that at all. I think if that would have been the case, I think that's why I said that something down the road where it's like, say that like sometime before SummerSlam or something like that like on like an episode of Raw or like a pay-per-view that Cody was at before that he just beat the hell out of Cody and like they have a match on like Raw or whatever, which Brock Lesnar doesn't do, but Brock Lesnar just destroys him and mauls him, and then at SummerSlam he had to come up as. Here I don't feel like, I'm like, to me squashing him would really be a detriment. And not in a way that I could even try to build on. So I feel like they gotta give Cody the win. Have him get his ass beat several, like a lot. You know, Suplex City. That's what he about to get. F5. He about to get hit with these cyclones. But then Cody to come down the end, and it was a tough struggling match, and that's how it goes. But he has his comeuppance in the end, and that's pretty much that. As far as what's after that, I can't really tell you, but I think this had a chance to feel good if everybody just gives it a chance, because everybody's still mad about what happened before. So if everybody gives it a chance, now if he comes out and he does either squash him or he beats him, I don't know nothing about that one, but. I was like, I think this will be an alright one. You know, it's gonna be okay. It'll be what it is. You're really looking for the future, unless a couple of these matches go the other way. That's the only way. But really, I only see one that could destroy the whole thing, and that's it. But anyway, if you liked anything I had to say here, I appreciate it. Thanks. If not, hey, maybe next time, or check out some other videos. You know, whatever it is. Anyway. Hey, peace. I'm out.